The next leg of my Central Asia travel takes me to Uzbekistan, a land full of incredible Islamic architecture and one of the most significant countries of the Silk Road. Having arrived via land border crossing from Kazakhstan, I had a short stay here in Tashkent before continuing to the famous cities of Samarkand and Bukhara. In this video, I will do a self-guided exploration of Tashkent. I spent the day admiring the beautifully unique architecture of the various metro stations throughout the city, as well as visiting some landmarks and getting a first glimpse into the Uzbek cuisine. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another video. Welcome to Tashkent. I am currently in the capital city of Uzbekistan, and I have been staying at Sunrise Caravan Hostel. I paid $12 per night for a bunk bed that includes a breakfast. So today I am going to film a bit of this city to give you a glimpse into what the capital city of Uzbekistan looks like, and I hope you enjoy that. Tashkent was the former capital of Soviet Central Asia and is the current capital city of Uzbekistan with a population of over 2.5 million people. As opposed to touristy cities such as Bukhara, Samarkand, or Khiva, staying in Tashkent allows you to feel the pulse of modern-day Uzbekistan. In 1960s, there was a massive earthquake in Tashkent, which destroyed a lot of the buildings, including older historic structures. And the city was almost completely rebuilt during the Soviet time. Therefore, it's quite difficult to actually find historical buildings, old town, things like that. I'm currently walking towards a metro station, which is a great way to explore Tashkent as a city. I'm excited to show you some of the best metro stations in Tashkent. Having first experienced Soviet-era metros in Minsk, Belarus, I have grown to be fascinated by their unique designs and atmosphere. Traveling along the metro networks built across the former Soviet Union not only excites me, but also feels like entering a series of underground monuments. Getting onto the metro in Tashkent is one of the best ways to get around. It is one of the most popular landmarks of the city, and you could spend a day just exploring the stations themselves. Until 2018, the metro in Tashkent were not allowed to be filmed, to be photographed, because it was used and deemed as a protective and defensive mechanism. And so therefore, only recently that people can take photos and just share what the inside of Tashkent's metro look like. There are 4 lines on the Tashkent Metro, so it's easy to navigate and extremely affordable, only costing 1,400 som or around 15 cents per trip. My first journey took me from Oybek station to Yonis Rejabi station nearby the famous Hotel Uzbekistan. Just got out of the metro, actually arriving in a local park that has a Hotel Uzbekistan view from afar. This is one of the sort of to-do list in the city just because of the brutalist Soviet architecture. You can obviously stay at the hotel. I think that costs around $50 per night. I'm not so sure. But at the same time, you can also admire the building if you're into that kind of tourism. I am just enjoying the fact that there are parks around the city, because when it gets so hot like this, trees and parks are a savior. So I'm currently at the Amir Temur Square. And as you can see, there is an Amir Temur huge statue over there. Amir Temur is considered as the national hero of Uzbekistan. And over there, you can see the majestic Hotel Uzbekistan. So I am standing in front of the Hotel Uzbekistan and have been just admiring the grandeur of this building. I am going to withdraw some cash. Before 2018, there is no way to withdraw money for tourists. So you have to sort of bring a cash, loads of cash, and exchange that or at a black market. There are quite a bit of ATM stands like this in the city, and usually the fee is around 2.5% out of the total amount that you are withdrawing. So I am hungry right now. It's a perfect time for lunch. I'm going to the Plough Center.
My next destination was a famous Plough Center for some lunch. To get there, I continued down the Green Metro line, which is a slightly newer line built in 2001. I took a brief stop over to see Bodomzo Station, which has a really unique and futuristic design.
So I have arrived at Bash Kozon, which is where I'll be having my true Uzbek plov. And this is one of must-to-do list, I think, for tourists, including me, to experience what the Central Asian cuisine will look like and will taste like. As you can see, there are so many people, and this is almost 3 p.m. Still busy. There are a bunch of people waiting for their plov. This is plov in the making. Over here you can see a bunch of carrots, rice over here actually, and on this section you can see plov being distributed. It's incredible how huge the cooking pan is. So it looks like people are waiting for their turn, and you can see the rice is being distributed, and then there will be meats on top of that.
Commonly found throughout Central Asia, plov is known as the national dish of the region. It typically consists of rice, carrots, oil, and meat cooked in a huge cast iron pot called a kazan, heated by wood fire. As well as plov, fresh bread is the lifeblood of Central Asian diet. The bread is often created with different patterns and baked in traditional clay ovens.
So I have got my plov here, or locally known as osh. A plate of this costs 32,000 som, which is equivalent to $3. And you've got this beautifully decorated rice with carrots, raisins, a bit of, I think these are, not quite sure, peanuts, no. Anyway, but you've got lamb meat on top of that. There's a selection of eggs as well, and a bit of salad, tomato and onion. If I'm being honest, I think the flavor could be a bit too much for me personally, because the rice itself is flavored by lamb fat, and the tomato is good, refreshing. However, the raw onion makes it like double trouble for me. But yeah, this is a cultural experience, trying the Central Asian cuisine.
When I was in Almaty, one of my favorite metro stations was Baikonur, dedicated to the space program. Tashkent has also a station themed around space, so I wanted to take a detour to see it. Kosmovatla station was really interesting, covered in blue ceramic medallions honoring famous Soviet cosmonauts. I then headed back up to the Red Line to check out Mustaqilig Maidoni station. This is a beautiful station with unique pillar designs and hanging light structures. I took a quick stop here to check out the Independence Park and Square.
I am currently at Independence Park, but funny thing enough, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. They're actually closing the park, and it seems like photography is also quite limited around this area. Sometimes I think due to the long reign of the previous government, which is Islam Karimov, things are still a bit like hazy in a way that whether you're able to freely take photography and whatnot. And only in 2018, after his death, things are a bit more laid back, I would say. from reading all the travel books and histories I gathered. So yeah, I think Uzbekistan personally is a great way into the Silk Road history, but at the same time it feels a bit more restricted in some shape or form. At the same time, I think it has the most preserved Islamic historical buildings.
My final destinations took me down the blue line of the metro. The stations on this line boast unique and intricate architecture, particularly Alizé Navoy, one of the most lavish stations in Tashkent. With beautifully detailed marble and small mosaic domes, this design resembles the mosque built during the Silk Road period. Before leaving the metro, I took the blue line right to the end to look at Biruni Station, which I thought was really cool for its arched ceiling with geometrical pattern and grand chandeliers. I then headed back to Chorsu Station to see the huge bazaar. Uzbekistan is historically a nation of traders and was one of the most significant destinations on the Silk Road. Still to this day, you see their legacy and history in the form of huge bazaars like this one, home to thousands of locals doing their daily shopping.
So I've arrived at Chorsu Bazaar, which is one of the main attractions in Tashkent city. This reminds me of the previous bazaar that Azamat took me. However, if I'm being honest, it's quite overwhelming being surrounded by this many people. It's exciting to see what the locals are doing, what they're selling, how they are buying their day-to-day basic, but at the same time, it's for someone like me who gets quite tired being surrounded by lots of people, it is, I need to take some time to just observe and watch.
My final stop on the metro tour took me to Ghafur Gulom, dedicated to the influential poet of the same name. This station has beautiful emerald pillars and mosaics on the wall representing Gulom's poetry. From here, I could head to the Hazrati Imam complex to see the large mosque before the sun sets.
So I have just got out of the metro stations and currently walking towards the Hazrati Imam Mosque, which is a large mosque in the city, and this is also a great introduction into the Islamic building that you will be seeing also in Samarkand, Bukhara or Khiva if you are going to these other parts of Uzbekistan. So this is the Hazrati Imam complex, and the mosque itself has these two actually such tall minarets, if you can see. So generally minarets like these are useful for prayer calling, so that the prayer calling can reach lots of people, I think. So the mosque was built in 2007, in just 4 months during the previous President Karimov era. And it looks like it has this distinctive Tashkent style type of mosque where they have two large, beautiful blue domes. And it is quite nice if you want to escape the city a bit and find a bit of serenity, because I don't know if you can hear the birds are chirping and it's quieter. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Let me know what you think about this video. Have you been to Tashkent before? Have you been to any of the Central Asian countries? Would you be interested in traveling to this region? I would love to read your comments. So yeah, I am excited because I am actually going to Tajikistan, crossing the border by taking an overnight train, 18 hours overnight train. A bit nervous, but at the same time excited. If you want to watch the next video, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, don't forget to check out my other social media. See you again next time. Bye.